Evening peeps, welcome back to the channel. Have I got sound? Have I got mic? Yes, I got mic. Okay, it was just worrying me for a little bit. I've just had to unplug it and plug it back in, but it's working. Good. Okay, so we are driven. You've just seen the intro. We're still pushing Archie's journey, still pushing Bradley Lowry Foundation. So get yourselves over to Facebook, click all those like buttons, get yourself over to justgiving.com/campaign/Archie's journey. Drop a donation on there if you please. Read the story, all that sort of stuff. And then get yourself over to We Are Driven and see what's happening over there. Just pushing out the word for different charities. So tonight we're back, round 2 of the CHEWITT Racing Mini Cooper Cup. And there she is herself, Chloe Hewitt, on the bonnet of her pride and joy, which you'll see in a second. If you've watched this league before, you'll have seen that livery, usually rocked by Mr. Cutler, the man responsible for this league, with the permission of the CHEWITT Racing family. So thank you very much. Or the Hewitt Racing family, but you know, it's CHEWITT Racing, so that's what it is. There she is, there's the car. Right, let's get on with some scores. So tonight we are live from Tokyo Expressway with the South Inner Loop. It's the same circuit we were driving in the GR3s on Wednesday. Tricky circuit, completely walled apart from the section around the what are they called, shipping containers. They're the ones, but still pretty mumuch walled. You're not there's no real runoff as such. So scores as they stand after round 1. We've got D.90 leading the way. Speaking of D.90, while we're just chatting about him, he's streaming his perspective live, so he'll be racing this one tonight, and you can watch his race live over on D.90 on Facebook. Go and check that out. So he's leading the way with 51 points in the minute after last week. We've got Pajonski in second, 49 points for him. Unfortunately, he's unable to race tonight. Last year's champ, so not able to do it. Not tonight anyway. Millerman sitting in third. He's got 48 points, so hot on the heels of Pajonski. He'll be looking for a good result. Obviously, try and claw some points back as well. We're only into round 1 of the season, so plenty of time left for that. DMK Dusky, or Duskovia, or Gaivia, however you want to say that. I don't even know. Sitting in 4th, he's got 38 points. We've got Aldo sitting in 5th with 35 points. We've got Cutler sitting in 6th with 34 points. Vroom 3 sitting in 7th with 30 points. We've got DDR Alien Swift, 29 points on the board for him in 8th. Old Crawler, 58 in 9th. He's got 29 points on board. Rob Scott, 12. He's got 28 points, sitting in 10th position. And the bottom couple of drivers, we've got WSR Corky sitting in 11th with 18 points. Hulky in 12th with 16 points. And Joint, 12th really, is DMK Dominator, also with 16 points. So that scores as of last week. Merch still available, people. Tickers and T-shirts if you want any of those. £3 for the stickers and 22 quid for the T-shirts, plus free sticker and free postage and all that sort of stuff. So hit me up if you want any of them. Right, let's get into this lobby. Who've we got in the room tonight? Like I say, no Pajonski. We've got Cutler 182. We've got TRG Aldo. We've got Corky. We've got One Eyed Lou. Was he not on the score? Did I miss him? What happened to One Eye Lou? Didn't you race last week? I forget. Mr. Lou. Here he is. One Eye Lou. LWR Millerman. He's here. Old Crawler 58. DDR Alien Swift. Hulky LF CCSR. Who knows? D.90. Rob Scott 12. DMK Duskovia Gaivia. And DMK Dominator. So 12 drivers on track tonight. Like I say, tricky little circuit, this one. Walled from front to back. 15 minutes quali coming up for you lot. It's an endurance tonight, so a full 50 minute. There is that Mini. Chloe's livery there. As close as we can get it. So yes, a 15 minute quali followed by a 50 minute. That's a 5-0 endurance race around this walled circuit. Trip to the pits if you pick up damage. Ooh, as we just see D-Dot clipping the wall. Yeah, trip to the pits if you pick up damage with these cars, which is obviously going to ruin your race a little bit, or you just better hope that everyone else picks up damage. But again, a tricky circuit this one. Right, let's turn some usual nonsense on. Get that kerfuffle out of the way. There we go. So, current championship leader, here he is, D.90. Currently sitting on provisional pole, 218.9 at the minute. He's got LWR Millerman just 0.3 of a second back. He's got himself a 219.2. Cutler's in third, 219.6. DDR Alien Swift, no hot lap on the board yet. He's way off that time in line as well. Rob Scott, he's got himself 2:19. Oh, Alien Swift must have a time on the board if he's in fourth above Rob Scott. Where's Cutler? 2:19.6. Oh, he's right behind. He's 1,000th of a second behind Cutler. There's Alien Swift, but it's not showing up on the screen there. Rob Scott fifth, he's got a 2:19.7. Again, it's a 15-minute quali. We are only about 5 minutes into that, so plenty of time left. Old Crawler's got 6. He had a good result last week in the sprint races. 2:20.3 at the minute. DMK Dominator, 2:20.7 for 7th. Nice. A little bit of a handbrake rag around there. And if you look at the side of his car, he's got the best sticker on the side of his car. Look, we'll stick with Dominator for a minute. Not that we'll get a good look at the side of his car now, look, because we're into the wall section. Got to be quick. Aldo, then, he's got a 2:20.8, currently sitting in 8th. They are all coming up to the line again, so these times are probably going to change. One-Eyed Loot into the pits. The pits is halfway around the circuit. So you better hope you don't pick up damage in turn 1, that's for sure. So One-Eyed Loot in the pits. Dusky, as he's going to be called. He's got a 2:21.4 sitting in 10th. Hulky is in 11th with a 2:21.7. And Corky is a 2:23.6 at the minute. Oh, he's got damage on the front. Ouch. Right, let's go and find somebody on just about to start a hot lap. Come on. You'll do, Dusky. Let's get ourselves on board with you for a second. Evening to all the watchers. Cheers to the new subscriber. I'm not sure if that's you, Billu. Cheers if it is. So, turn 1. Almost a 90-degree, quite wide circuit, but as you can see, it's just steel on concrete. Absolutely nowhere to go. So, Dusky gaining from a little bit of a toe here from Hulky on his qualifying. Under the bridge, up the hill towards the shipping containers. It can all go horribly wrong here. Dusky getting it right. A little bit wide maybe. Yeah, through he goes. You can hear the tyres squealing through here. Super soft tyres only for qualifying. Just able to drop Hulky a little bit through there. Through this right-hander again. Just tightens up a little bit here. Got to be careful on the exit. There you go. Dusky just catching the wall on the way through there. Into the tunnel section, down towards the pits and the hairpin. So sweeping left, right. Does tighten up just on the second right as well. Again, you've got to be careful on the exit. Side by side with Hulky here. Could get a little bit dangerous. Both drivers. Oh, there you go. Dusky just catching the wall. Hulky not giving him the race in line, unfortunately. So into the hairpin. There's the entrance to the pits as well. Back on the power, around the hairpin then. Up the hill. Again, some tight wiggles coming up in a second. Got to get these right as well. So into the right-hander. Carrying good speed through there. Into the left. Just backing off the power a little bit through here. Just making sure he doesn't run into the walls at the minute. Dusky. Through the final turn of this circuit then. Almost into the wall. And back on the power. See what his time's going to be. Coming up to the line here then. 2:20.1. He does go a bit quicker. Chucks himself into 8th from 10th. There he goes, being harassed by Hulky at the minute. Right, and let's go and have a look at what's happened at the front. Millerman now sitting on pole. 2:18.6 for him. D.90, 0.3 of a second back himself now. Position swap between these two. Cutler still in third. 2:19.1, so he's gone quicker, but not enough to take that position off of D.Dot or Millerman. Rob Scott in fourth. He's got a 2:19.1. Again, going a little bit quicker. Dominator also 2:19.6. Up into fifth. DDR Alien Swift still on that lap 2 time of 2:19. Oh, just grazing the wall through there. 2:19.6. TRG Aldo 2:20.1. Dusky, I've just been on board with at 2:20.1 for him as well. So 8th, nothing in it, but really between the 8th and 5th maybe. What is it? 2:19.6. Rob Scott's on a 2:19. Yeah, maybe about a second then. Okay, One Eye Lou, we've just jumped past 2:20.2, just going a little bit quicker there. 9th position, Old Crawler 10th, 2:20.3. Still, again, that lap 2 time. Hulky 11th, 2:21.6. There it is, Dark Smoker and Tanso smashed down the side of his car. Thank you, appreciate that. Corky 12th, 2:22.9. So again, going quicker. Not enough to take him off that final grid position at the minute. Here is current pole sitter Millerman. Still got 4.5 minutes left of quali. Just turn that live chat on, make sure we're not missing anything. Yeah, tricky little section, that one. I drove this in the GR3s on Wednesday, and yeah, there's a couple of moments. Bigger, heavier rear-wheel drive cars, though. These things, they do like to snap a little bit. What are you now? Almost half a second. Oh, faster than Cutler, who's managed to jump into second position. Where's... Oh no, maybe not. Maybe not. D.90 has chucked himself in the pits. There he is. There he goes. Out on track. So yeah, D.90 streaming his perspective live if you want to go and watch his race. I don't know. Do you race? What do you race? How do you race? Do you race in car, D-Dot? So this is what you might be seeing if it's in car. It might be that. I don't think it's going to be that. That's for outrun and stuff like that. If you're old enough, if you know, you know. Outrun. Sega Rally. Never seen anything so good. So again, look. Oh, he's got that final turn wrong. Oh, picking up damage as well. So it did look like he was about to try and start a hot lap there, D-Dot. Unfortunately, like I say, because it's... There you go, he chucks himself back in the pits. Get that repaired. Otherwise, it means a whole lap with all that damage. Oof. Aldo snucked through. He snucked 218.6 for the Alds. 0.047 quicker than Millerman. Let's have a look. Where's the next timing line coming up? Through that shipping container mayhem. Again, it looks alright now, but you wait till there's 12 drivers trying to get through there in the beginning of the race. We'll get a little bit bumpy through there. Alright, come on, let's get you through this right-hander and see what this time's going to be. Are you able to put anything on Aldo? Has he snucked? Has he snuck through? Have you got anything left in the tank, Millerman? Has D-Dot got anything left? Are we down 1/4 of a second? Around this hairpin then, let's see what he's got coming up the hill. Don't know whether he's going to be able to pull back that 1/4 of a second. Smoking those tyres. Speaking of hot things, big shout out to Ben over at Woody's Wondrous Chilies. Or chili sauce, is it chili sauce or chilies? Go and check him out. He's given me a lifetime supply of chili sauce to sponsor the channel. It will kill me, but it's a lifetime supply for hooking him up and giving him a shout out on the channel. This stuff, I'm telling you, if you like spicy food, he makes it all himself. Millerman, there he goes then. He makes it all himself, and it is fire. That's about all I can say about it. Woody's Wondrous Chilies over there on Facebook. Go give him a shout. Right, Millerman then, not able to take that pole position off of Aldo. Where's D-Dot? He's all the way down in 4th. It won't be for long, I don't think. Oh no, he should be. He'll stay in 4th, will he? Oh yeah, so Cutler did go quicker then. Millerman went quicker. And then Aldo came through to take pole. I don't think there's anybody left on track that can put it on him. One-Eyed Lou crosses the line, stays 7th. So I don't know if you're out on a hot lap, D-Dot. If you are, we'll stick with you for a second. A little bit tight through there. Can he do it? What have you got? What's it going to be? 152. Just got to spank the life out of this Mini. 18 seconds. Final turn to go. Oof. Almost taking the wing mirror off through there. Got to watch the exit. What's the time going to be? It does. Nope. Ooh. 2:18.6, and that's not right, 2:19.2. We've got drivers dropped out of the lobby. That's why the times have all changed. Look, everyone's chucking themselves back in the pits and sticking different tyres on. So that's qualifying done. We'll have to wait till the race starts now to read through those, because everyone's dived in and out of the lobby and come in and out and stuff. So there they all are, all piled up on top of each other. That's why it looks like it's colour shift paint. So yes, 15 minutes of qualifying done. It did look like Aldo had held that pole position. Everyone getting their tyres on and getting back out on track. So I would have thought they're going to give them a 5-minute break in between race and qualifying and race, just to give them a breather. Like I say, it's 15 minutes qualify into a 50-minute endurance. Can be a bit much behind the wheel for that long. Oh yeah, D-Dot taking third then. So yes, Aldo taking that top spot. Good drive. What's his time? Let's just, oh, it's a 218. Yeah, 218.6 for Aldo. Millerman, he was holding that pole position for most of that qualifying session. There we go, lobby settings being changed now then. So it was super soft tyres only for qualifying, but now to come to the race, they're only allowed anything hards, mediums or softs only. No super softs available. Yeah, it's a long old way around this circuit. It's a long way from the pits as well if you get it wrong early on. Damage is on, so again, if you get it wrong, it's a trip to the pits, or you deal with that damage for the rest of the race, or wait till your pit stop, or whatever. That's a good point. Yeah, so big shout out to Woody's Wondrous Chilies. Like I say, if you want some spicy, hot, roasting, redonkulous chili sauce, it is a mash. It is a mash. It's not a sauce. It is redonkulous. Armageddon chilies is the one I've got. It changes depending on what chilies he's growing. Like I say, he grows it all, mashes it all, makes it all, bottles it all, sells it all. It's ridiculous. Redonkulous. Many more words to make it sound extreme. Woody's Wondrous Chilies on Facebook. Lifetime supply, you know. Which is probably just going to be the one bottle I've got in my fridge because it's ridiculous. I texted him before I first used it. I've got to tell you this story. It's only the other day. How much of this dangerous stuff shall I put in my dinner? Right, it's a one meal like pasta dinner. I just want it zupping up a little bit with a bit of chilli. He said, well, about a teaspoon. He said, but I'd put a little bit more in because I like it spicy, he says. I went, rightio, I'm putting half a teaspoon in then. Blew my face off. Half a teaspoon, blew my face off. It's ridiculous. I was scared for my eyes. Yeah, that kind of chili sauce, alright? So if you want some of that, Woody's Wondrous Chilies on Facebook. And probably Insta, I don't know. Don't know whether he is Chili's model or something. That's what Insta's for, isn't it? Selling stuff and modelling. What are you saying, peeps? There's 7 people in the chat and I'm chatting to myself. Damn it. Can imagine D-Dot's probably got the thing rolling. I think Johnsky's probably listening in the car on the way up to Norfolk, so let's not get him to chat, otherwise, you know, he might get arrested or crash. And there it is on screen. Chloe's Mini. Like I say, or as close as we can get to it. Let's see if we've got any shenanigans out on track. Anyone trying to blow a set of tyres out before the race starts? Or damage on for Millerman. Justin Gant. Lastminute.com. So, it's going to be 13 drivers on track. Oof, not anymore. Oh, no damage. Well done. Managed to blag that. One-Eyed Lou, no damage either. How? He could have forgotten. Oh no, because we've just seen Millerman with damage, so there he is, rolling about. Cruising back to the pits. I'm not sure if One-Eyed Lou's trying to get through the barriers there and take out some spectators and stewards. Rocking the Red Bull livery. Oh, a little bit wide there, One Eye. At least nobody's getting dirty tyres tonight with no runoff. Like I say, apart from the shipping container area where you can run wide and pick up a bit of rubber, but it doesn't really give you dirty tyres as such. It just pushes you out wide and people overtake you through there. That's not what you want. Rob Scott. There he is in the chocolate mobile. Same livery as last season in the dairy milk. Also carrying damage at the minute, Rob. Different set of wheels on this season, is it? Looks like a different set of wheels on. Can we change that camera angle up? It's not going to let me see you in a decent angle, is it? Nope. Not in this tunnel. Looks like a different set of rims on your car for this season, Rob. I could be mistaken. Nice try. I think if you were trying to give us a look, it didn't quite work. Aldo, the pole sitter, rocking the Steelies by the look of it. Yep, now we've got people trying to take tyres out. Oh, and themselves. Look, Alien Swift's put as much damage on that car as he possibly can. He's got one wheel left to smash. Here we go then. 50-minute endurance coming up for you lot. Don't worry about Alien Swift. His car will repair itself. As if by magic. So Aldo sitting on pole position. Millerman second, Cutler third, D-Dot fourth, Rob Scott fifth, One-Eyed Lou sixth, Alien Swift seventh, Dominator eighth. Oh, why didn't you do that properly? Stop it. You're going to give people epilepsy. Where do we get to? Ninth. Dusky in ninth, Crawler in 10th. Hulky in 11th, we've got Corky in 12th, unfortunately Justin starts at the back in 13th. We're away now. Firing down towards turn 1 then, Aldo holding the lead so far. Cutler not able to take advantage and slots himself into second, but D-Dot's looking for that third off him and gets it as well. Carries the speed round turn 1, gets Cutler, takes that third position. Cutler fourth then, Rob Scott in 5th. One-Eyed Lou 6th, Alien Swift 7th, Dominator 8th, Dusky in 9th, Old Crawler 10th, Corky 11th, Hulky 12th, Justin in 13th. Oh, there we go, Millerman just getting wide there through that shipping container zone. Cutler also going wide through there, losing a few positions. Oh, he's going out wide through there as well. He's got to be careful on the way back out. under pressure. Someone picking up a penalty there. Who is that? D-Dot. Half a second, just going a little bit too tight through one of those turns. Everyone trying to stay out the walls here. Again, it's a long old race, and a trip to the pits is not what you want. Aldo then starting to stretch a bit of a lead out, almost a second over Milliman. He's under all sorts of threat by current championship leader D-Dot. Getting a toe then down towards the hairpin. Oh, goes for a little slot up the inside, does he? No. Backs off on the way into the hairpin. Did have the opportunity to slot one up the inside there, but hasn't. He's been given plenty of room by Milliman as well. One Eye Lou right on his tail in fourth. So yeah, Cutler struggling, gets pushed down to fifth position with that little mistake. One Eye Lou looking for a way past D-Dot. See him in that rear view mirror through these S's then. You can see little steering inputs having to put in because the tyres let go on him. Oh, out he goes wide. One Eye Lou goes through. D-Dot loses a position there. Oh, and into the wall he goes again. What is happening? Looks like Aldo's done the same thing. Just clipped the wall on the way out of that final turn. Milliman goes through to take the race lead then. 0.6 of a second gap he's managed to stretch out. 0.7 as well by the time he hits turn one. Sideways through there. Aldo clipping the wall again. One Eye Lou looks like he was carrying a fair amount of speed through there. Maybe clipped the wall on the way out. Did. D-Dot comes back through to take that position. Cutler also sneaks through as well, back up into fourth then for Cutler. One Eye Lou in fifth, but for how much longer? Alien Swift looking to take that position off him into this shipping container zone. Just got the inside line. Oh, gone a bit too deep in there though, did Alien Swift. Looked like he was carrying far too much speed on the way in. Now, unfortunately, that puts Rob Scott right on the tail of One Eye Lou, so still under pressure here. Old Crawler gets past Alien Swift as well. He's up into seventh. Alien Swift also under pressure from Dusky here, so that one little mistake, look, has cost him a fair few positions. And it does. Dusky goes through then. Alien Swift drops back down to ninth. Hulky 10th, bit of a gap to Hulky, 3.5 seconds. Justin in 11th. A little bit of front end damage on for Justin. Corky 12th. No damage on board, but a long way back, 28 seconds. I wonder if you've had to dive in the pits lap one, Corky. We didn't get around to seeing that. And possibly Dominator as well. A long way back, these two. Look about pit stops length back. In terms of time, at least. So back up front, Milliman now 1.3 seconds up front. Again, long old 50-minute race. Got to think about conserving fuel and tyres, etc. Into the S's. Milliman leads then. Aldo second. D-Dot third. Cutler fourth. Milliman starting to make a bit of a gap. Top four are actually pulling away from everybody else a little bit. There's a 2.3 second gap back to Old Crawler in fifth. One Eye Lou nearly catching the wall on the way out of there, on the hunt down for Rob Scott and Old Crawler in front. And loses a bit of time then, One Eye. Dusky trying to hang on to them in 8th. There's Alien Swift in 9th, losing that position to Dusky. Again, Hulky just 3 seconds off the back of these, Justin another 7 seconds back. Again, carrying a little bit of damage is Justin. And then, yeah, I think Corky and Dominator have both been in the pits, so Corky's actually got a bit more damage on board there. So he might hold out, and that's not going to affect him too much. We'll do on the long straights, slow him down a little bit, maybe give him a wobble. Here he is, current race leader Milliman then, 1.2 seconds in front of Aldo. Cutler getting himself past D-Dot as well into third. D-Dot gets pushed down to fourth. Only stop chatting to people in that chat of yours, D-Dot. You'll race a hell of a lot better. I know it's a kind of job at the minute, but... everybody's surviving pretty much then, apart from the last two drivers. Aldo getting that turn wrong now, under pressure from Cutler into the hairpin. He's got the inside line, but Cutler just drives around the outside of him. Thank you very much, I'll have that second. Nothing Aldo could do through there, so that puts Aldo back into third. He's now under pressure from D-Dot. Back in fifth. Rob Scott's managed to squeeze past Old Crawler as well into fifth. Old Crawler sixth. One Eye Lou now in the pits. Oh, front end damage. Dusky goes through to seventh then. One Eye Lou in the pits. Alien Swift in the pits. Both picked up front end damage. Fresh set of tyres on while you're there. Why not? Hulky's in the pits. Justin's in the pits. Oh, Corky's. Is he going to come in the pits this lap? No, he's going to hang on to his damage for now. Goes through into 10th then. These drivers still in the pits, getting repairs. Millerman starts stretching out again up front, 1.7 seconds. Cutler now the lead car of the hunting pack. Ourselves on with a little bit of this view. Watch these three battle it out on the hunt. So it could be this corner, one of these corners that D-Dot picked up his penalty on. You can see there's a little bit of space there to get all four wheels over the white line. And we watch him just squeeze his way past Aldo up into third. Having to feather the throttle through there. Tyres squealing on the way through as well. Everyone trying to keep it out of the wall. Cutler is starting to make a little bit of a break. Not out of the slipstream range yet. All sorts of indicators, and he's saying if you want to go round me, go on the right hand side, please. Okay, so some good sportsmanship there then. D-Dot obviously thinking that move through the shipping containers was a little bit brutal with a push on Aldo. A bit of rubbing is racing though. And he gives the position back. Fair play. Still in the hunt as well. Not lost any time really. Still gets the toe off of Aldo on the hunt for Cutler and Millerman in front. There's Rob Scott in the background. He's managed to make a bit of a break from Old Crawler. And now he's on the hunt for that top four pack. He's only 1.8 seconds down. There is the leading pack just in front. Loses a bit of time through there actually. Old Crawler 6th, then Dusky in 7th. Hanging on to the back of Old Crawler at the minute. One-Eyed Lou in 8th. So yeah, about 30 seconds pit stop. Off into the wall there. Picks up damage, does One Eye. 8th place. Just at the beginning of the lap as well. That is the final turn. Alien Swift right behind him. Just bumping off the wall. Doesn't pick up damage. I think you'll see Alien Swift slowly catch and take Dusky here with that damage. Sorry, One Eye. Just won't be able to carry as much speed through the turns or on the straights or anything like that. The car will feel a little bit wibbly. Still holding his own over Alien Swift though. Drivers going a little bit deep there. Alien Swift does catch up through that section though. Again, we'll have to see whether One Eye Lou comes in the pits. We'll jump back up the front to see what's happening here. So Millerman's gap reduced down to 1.1 seconds then. Cutler pushing hard to try and gain on that first place driver. In the background we've got TRG Aldo and D-Dot. Looks like these boys might be working together to try and close themselves back up on these drivers in front. A little bit of bump drafting in the race is allowed. Not in qualifying, but in the race it certainly is. We've got to be careful. You don't push that driver a little bit too quick and into the wall. So now 2.3 seconds back from Cutler is D-Dot Aldo. Rob Scott still another 2 seconds back in 5th. Crawler 6th. He is being closed down a little bit by Dusky. He's got a penalty to drop. Almost done that. 1.7 seconds the gap here. Alien Swift into 8th then. He's managed to get himself past One Eye. So One Eye's not come in the pits. There is the Taylor tank. So Dominator having a bit of a race of his own at the minute. 11 seconds in front of One Eyed Lou and 8 seconds back to Corky in 11th. He's also having a race of his own. 10.4 back to Hulky. 9.5 to Dominator. And then Hulky again. Justin's in the pits. More damage. Fresh set of tyres. Fuel on as well. Again, you can drive the, you can race the race with the damage, but again, it just slows you down lap after lap after lap. So the front pair then, Millerman and Cutler, now 1.1 seconds apart. The Aldo D-Dot train has come to an end. Aldo now a full second in front of D-Dot, 3.1 back from Cutler though. And there's Rob Scott hunting these two down. Old Crawler again, just in the background still only 1.7 seconds back. Slight mistake from either of these two. He's pulled a bit of time over Dusky. Not much in it really. Biggest gap is from 7th to 8th here. Look, good 30 seconds back to these drivers. Like I say, these are all spread out a little bit. Yeah, more damage on board for One Eye. Let's see if he comes in the pits. No, stays out again. Man leads then, stretches his gap by a couple of tenths. Cutler, what's the tyre wear looking like? Very similar, both drivers on the mediums. Like I say, hards, mediums and softs available, but soft will probably wear out a little bit quick. Aldo lost a bit of time to D-Dot. There is Rob Scott and Old Crawler, now only 1.4 seconds back. Was 1.7 last time we checked. Nice line through there. Oh, a little bit wide through that one. Gets a better run out of these turns though. Is he able to close the gap up? Still 1.4 seconds. Definitely looks closer. Gap's coming down as well. Old Crawler on a storm here. Got it down to 1.3, but it extends again. Drivers in front possibly picking up a toe from each other. Yeah, Rob Scott getting a toe off of D-Dot. D-Dot just about getting a toe off of Aldo. So they might just be able to stretch that gap back out between Old Crawler and Rob Scott. There's Dusky just in the background, 7th. is the fight up front. Millerman and Cutler closer together, 0.8 seconds. Get a bit of indoor onboard cam. On the hunt then for that first place Cutler. The gap at 0.8 of a second through this final turn then. Both drivers keeping it out of the wall. Gap down to 0.7 in the slipstream range for certain now is Cutler. That gap coming down pretty quickly, 0.6, 0.5. Not enough to get him before turn 1, but brings him closer. Puts him in a position to have an attack maybe into the shipping containers. He can get a good exit here. And does. Gap down to 0.4. Down the hill then. Just under the bridge, back up the hill into these shipping containers. The gap at 0.3. Don't think he's going to make a lunge here. He might wait till the pit entrance. Hangs on to Millerman then. First and second here. Nearly 5.5 seconds in front of Aldo. Again, closes up. The gap down to 0.3. All over him now as they come into this right-hander. Cutler will be looking for a good exit out of this. Again, he might not go for it down here. Get on board with Millerman looking back then. There is Cutler on the hunt. Down towards this hairpin. Is he going to make a move here? He's in a position to. Doesn't get as good an exit there as he'd like. Millerman gives him plenty of room though. Cutler's going to get a good drive out. They're going to be side by side on the run up the hill. Does look like Millerman's got a slightly better drive out. He has. He holds on to that first by the skin of his teeth through there. Hill then towards the S's, this walled street circuit, just ready to catch all these drivers out. Tyre wear starting to show now. Nearly 20 minutes into this one. Both drivers keeping it out of the wall again through here. Final turn coming up, tricky one. Cutler still 0.4 of a second back. He'd have liked to have been closer when he exited that final turn. Still not going to quite be in a position to get him at turn 1. Got to try again somewhere. Millerman's making it hard for him. How long can he hold off a Cutler? Like I say, 20 minutes into this one. Still got 30 minutes left to run. Oh, there they are, side by side, running up the hill. Millerman, if he can hold the speed, we'll still have the inside line, but Cutler's, we've just seen Cutler drive around the outside of people at the hairpin. He has got a nose in front, and he does. Sweeps into first then for Cutler. After a not great start, I think he got pushed back to about 6th or 7th around this very section. He's managed to work his way back up into P1. Still in that slipstream though. Just got to hang on to Cutler. Rob Scott gets himself through into 3rd position, then gets himself past Aldo. D-Dot's been in the pits. Oh, has he? Or has he just got it all wrong? So Rob Scott in 3rd, then 7.4 seconds back. Aldo another second back in 4th. Old Crawler is right there with him in 5th position, 0.3 seconds back. He's got D-Dot for company. Yeah, D-Dot's got loads of front end damage, look. Got it wrong somewhere. Still hanging on to these two though. Looking for the move on old Crawler down towards the hairpin. Side by side with him. Old Crawler sweeps back across, looks for the switch back up the inside and gets it. And almost, has he got Aldo as well? Oh, not quite, not quite. It's a 3-way battle here. Still, oof, I think Aldo's just got himself in front. He has. Crawler's not giving up though, nor is D-Dot trying to go around the outside of Old Crawler through the S's. This could be dangerous. And gets through then, D-Dot. What a move. Around the outside of Old Crawler on the way in the S's, even with damage. Oh, and there is Old Crawler, just ploughs into the wall, picks up front end damage himself there. And there's Dusky in the background losing penalty. He's now going to be on the hunt for that 6th position. Justin been in the pits a couple of times, I think, unfortunately. Just in the background of that fight. Dominator then in 8th position, 44 seconds down. Alien Swift in the pits, getting new tyres, fuel, probably damage repaired as well. One Eye Lou still carrying damage, out on a set of softs this stint. Corky in 11th. Again, front end damage on board for Corky. Hulky damage 12th, 6.3 seconds back. So there is opportunities for these guys to all have a go at each other. Top 6 and the bottom sort of 7 aren't that far apart. A couple of drivers out on their own. There is Justin, like I say, unfortunately he's been in the pits a couple of times. He's on the hunt at the minute for Old Crawler, who's just been in the wall, unfortunately, still holding that damage. Starting to lose that fight. He was getting involved with that top 4 battle, top 5 battle, second to 5th. It's Justin going to get a move done here. There's a lap down, obviously. It looks like Old Crawler's managed to keep himself in front of that one. Is he going to decide to chuck himself in the pits? Tyres getting a little bit worn out. He does, throws himself in the pits this lap then. A couple of other drivers come in. Aldo and D-Dot come through as well. Aldo stayed out. Millerman stayed out. Both drivers on medium tyres. Cutler's looking a lot better now. A fair chunk of wear on Millerman's. You may not be able to see that on your screens, but there is a noticeable difference between the two. Rob Scott still holding that 3rd position, but 8.1 seconds down from those top 2. Dusky holds 4th. He's just picked up penalties most of this race and dropped some paint. So he's only 4.7 back from Rob, but like I say, not stopped yet. His tyre's looking pretty good as well. Don't think you've stopped yet, have you, Dusky? It can't have done with only 4 seconds back from Rob Scott. D-Dot then, back out the pits. Another set of mediums on board. He's now 27.5 seconds down from Dusky. Oh, into the wall. Picks up damage straight away then, D-Dot. Oh, Aldo's in the wall as well. Luckily, he gets away without damage. So that's going to put D-Dot back under pressure from Aldo then for the next half a lap. And there is Old Crawler back out the pits. Damage repaired. Fresh set of mediums on as well. Still only 2.5 seconds down from Aldo. Could still be on here for Old Crawler to make a position or 2 up. And then there's a great big gap to Alien Swift. So 8th and down, all ended up in the pits early on with damage. Oof, there's One Eye Lou into that wall again. Picks up the same damage we saw him do earlier. Sitting in 9th then for One Eye. Corky sitting in 10th. Oof. Carrying damage. Dominator getting away with dragging his car down that wall in 11th. Hulky just exiting the pits. A fresh set of racing softs on board. And Justin, again, more damage on board for Justin. Sitting in 13th. Full minute and a 10 back from Hulky. 2 minutes 43 back from race leader Cutler, unfortunately. Again, many trips to the pits, I think, for Justin. So Cutler now starting to stretch his lead out. 1.1 seconds he's pulled over Millerman. Again, just looked after his tyres a tiny bit better, has Cutler. You can't really see it on screen, but there is a difference. And again, stretching out time, 1.4 seconds. So from that not great start, Cutler's got himself at the halfway point into the top spot. Still got to pit yet, as has Millerman, as has Rob Scott. Dusky just coming out now, then he holds on to that 4th position as well. So he's not carrying as much fuel as Aldo behind him. The car will be lighter. He's on the medium tyres as well, so picking up damage through there. That's going to slow him right down. Aldo clips the wall as well, but manages to get away with it. Yeah, so that time's going to come down now between Dusky and Aldo. 1.5 seconds currently. Top 3 not stopped yet then. Cutler's thinking he's got plenty of life left in those mediums, I'm sure. Millerman doing the best he can to hang on to Cutler at the minute. 1.2 seconds, keeping the gap about the same. And what's Rob Scott looking like? So his tyres very similar on fuel, so he's not going to be able to gain much in terms of pit stop time on fuel or something like that. Maybe a little bit. Millerman's used a fair chunk more than Cutler and Rob Scott, so that'll give Cutler a slight advantage coming out of the pits. It'll also give Rob a slight advantage coming out of the pits as well. It might only be a second or two, but that can be enough. Can these 3 not stopped yet? Everybody else behind has. Dusky then 4th. Aldo brought that gap down 0.8 seconds. Crawler another 4 seconds back. There's just in the background. D-Dot another 26 seconds down. Alien Swift in 8th. Again, big gaps here from sort of 8th downwards. Dominator another 13 seconds back from Alien Swift. Corky another 7.5 seconds back from Dominator. One-Eye Lou 24.5 seconds down from Corky. He's under pressure from Hulky here though as they head up towards the hairpin. Not quite close enough to make a move here yet for Hulky. Loses a bit of time actually through there. Justin Gant back in the pits. More repairs to his car. I bet he can't believe it. I bet you see more pits than he has track. Cutler then. Starting to put his stamp on this race tonight. 1.7 seconds the lead. Again, yet to stop is Cutler, Millerman and Rob Scott. But they have got just over that 30 seconds to play with over Dusky, who has stopped. Closest guy in 4th. He's under pressure from Aldo though. Get ourselves on board with Aldo as he hunts down Dusky. So we'll be getting a good tow down this straight. There you go, closing up massively here. He's going to sweep past here. Easily done then for Aldo, carrying way more speed than Dusky through there. Goes a little bit deep. Dusky comes back at him. See these minis just try and let go every now and then. You think you've got a bit of grip and then they twitch. Okay, Millerman in the pits this lap. Cutler stays out. Rob Scott also comes in. So Cutler stays out. Like I say, I thought he would think he's got a couple more laps on those mediums. Does know how to look after a set of tyres, this man. Don't ask him how, because he won't tell you. I don't even know if he knows how to do it. Oh, he doesn't know how to stay out the wall though, does Cutler. But we'll give him that because his tyres are good and he's now leading the race. And he's not picked up damage. So he now has a 33, nearly 33.5 second lead over Millerman. Excuse me. Again, pit stop time is about 30 seconds here. So we'll be watching that clock. He is losing time to these drivers behind at the minute. Obviously they're on the fresh set of tyres. They'll be able to carry more speed through the turns, etc. That gap will start to come down, so Cutler's got to make a judgment call. Does he come in this lap? Does he wait a lap or two? Does he think he's still got the pace? They have been getting consistently slower. 21s, 22s, 23s, 24s. As if we just flick back to Millerman and have a look at his... Oh, he's had a pit in lap, so yeah, we won't see that yet until he crosses the line. So we're over the halfway point. Cutler can stick another set of tyres on. Put a little blob of fuel in as well. And race these last 17.5 minutes. Millerman then see gap down to 29.8 seconds. There you go. That gap has come down between Rob Scott and Millerman then, so he did have to put a little bit less fuel in. Gets that gap down to 4 seconds. Cutler in the pits now. Millerman heading through the S's. Is that you out the pits already, Cutler? No. Here it is then. Cutler, his car showing up on the screen there, the little blue dot, as Millerman comes around this turn. Where's it going to come out? Where's it going to come out? Just comes out the pits now. Here comes Millerman. There is Cutler, 2.1 seconds up the road. Millerman carrying a fair bit of speed though, so he's closing that gap up. Is it going to be enough though? 16.5 minutes remaining. Rob Scott's 3.8 seconds down now as well. So he's got that gap down from 8 seconds down to 3.9. Can he then go for an extra podium position here? Oh, flick forward to Cutler. I didn't mean to do that, but we'll jump on board with him anyway. Current race leader, 1.9 seconds up the road from Millerman then. Millerman another 3.7 up the road from Rob Scott. He's got 3.9 over Aldo. Dusky in 5th, 2.1 seconds back. So, oh, he's picked up damage, has Dusky. A little bit of a penalty there as well. Slows him down a little bit, so he doesn't hold on to that 4th for now. Old Crawler is sitting in 6th. Still not a bad result for Old Crawler at the minute. Dominator 7th. He was rolling around in about 11th or 12th earlier, but picked up a little bit of damage himself. Still got D-Dot hunting him down. D-Dot's been in the pits again. Fresh set of racing softs on board he's gone for. Alien Swift another 5.8 seconds down from D-Dot. One Eye Lou in 10th, 17.5 seconds down. Hulky in 11th, 7.2 seconds down. 23 seconds back to Corky in 12th. And Justin, he's I'm sure he doesn't even want to talk about this race. 1 minute 35 back from Corky. Like I say, I think he's seen more pit time than he has track time tonight, has Justin. Look at the gap, look at the gap. 3.2 seconds. What did you do wrong, Millerman? You've not got any damage, but you have brought Rob Scott even closer to you. 2.5 seconds. He'll be on an absolute charge now. He'll have seen the time drop. You can see Millerman a lot closer. He's under no threat from Aldo just yet. 4.7 seconds that gap. Purple sectors as well for Rob Scott. So he's just put in fastest lap of the race as 2:20.5. So he's on the soft tyre, which obviously will be running faster than Millerman's mediums. Are they going to last another 14 minutes, though, is the question. Gets the gap down to 2.2 seconds. Is it going to work for him? Another 2:20.4 there for Rob Scott. Into turn 1. Still the gap at 2.2. Not able to close up through here. Millerman no slouch behind the wheel. There is Cutler just going around the shipping containers. Here goes Millerman. Does Rob Scott gain any time through here? Those soft tyres should work a little bit better. They've not this time though. Gap still at 2.2 seconds. Now it comes down 2.1. Right, we'll come back and check on this fight. It's going to take him a while to drag those 2 seconds down without a mistake from Millerman in front. So Aldo now 5.2 seconds back in 4th. Another 5.2 seconds back to Dusky in 5th. Again, got that little bit of front end damage to contend with for the rest of the race if he sticks it out. He's still got 5.9 over Old Crawler in 6th. Sorry, 5.5 over Old Crawler in 6th. And then, yeah, nothing to worry about behind. 50 seconds back to Dominator, who's gone wide into the shipping containers. D-Dot goes through. He takes that 7th then. Trying to put these softs to good use, but it might be a little bit too little too late for D-Dot. So Dominator gets pushed down to 8th then. Alien Swift 4.3 seconds down in 9th. Again, another big gap back to One Eye Lou, 21 seconds down in 10th. Another 8 seconds back to Hulky in 11th. Corky 27 seconds down in 12th. And just in 1 minute 27 back from Corky. Cutler then. Now he takes the fastest lap of the race, 2:19.8. Oh, I hadn't noticed you were on softs there, Cutler. So Millerman came out on the mediums. He's lost touch with Cutler, but he's brought himself right into danger zone with Rob Scott here. The gap down to 1.7 seconds between these two. Just over 10.5 minutes remaining. Can the Chocolate Monster catch up with the Lone Wolf Racer? And again the gap comes down, 1.4 seconds. Still under no threat behind Aldo, still 6 seconds down. Still just out of the slipstream range for Rob. Just utilising those softer tyres for the time being until he can get a little bit closer. So less than 10 minutes remaining. LWR Millerman is doing as best he can to try and keep this gap. It just dropped down to 1.1 seconds. It's now at 1.2. Corner by corner, 10th by 10th. Rob Scott is catching up with him, but will his tyres allow him to do that till the end of the race? If he leaves it too long, doesn't quite catch up with Millerman, his tyres will be blown. Millerman will still have plenty of life left in his mediums. And it'll take everything Rob Scott's got to keep this thing pointing in the right direction. Gap's still at 1.2 seconds. Oh, you just dragged it down the wall there. Gap jumps straight up to 1.4 seconds. Millerman then gives himself some breathing room. Cutler in the meantime starting to catch up with the back markers. Bit of traffic for him to deal with. He is 5.5 seconds ahead of the Millerman Rob Scott battle. They're now just coming on up on these back markers as well. So Aldo unable to close the gap up, lost a bit of time, in fact, down to 7.3 seconds for Aldo in fourth. Dusky still another 8.7 back. Old Crawler another 4.9 back. So yeah, top six without some dreadful mistakes. Should finish it in this position. There's a great big gap of 48 seconds back to D-Dot. That's a pit stop and some, that one. So Dominator in 8th. Not long been in the pits actually, Dominator. Fresh set of racing softs on board. Alien Swift also in the pits. He's picked up damage. Taking on board fuel as well. Don't know whether you needed to do that, to be honest. Maybe. Who's that come out right behind you? Is that Hulky? No? Was that Justin just come out right behind you? Yes, it was. Fresh set of boots on board for Justin as well. Whether he had damage that time, I don't know. Cutler then up front extends his lead up to 6 seconds, starting to pull away. Millerman keeps himself out of danger for now, but the gap has come down to less than a second. Again, you look at the wear on Rob Scott's tyres though, those soft tyres starting to give out. Millerman's just got to keep his composure, drive it how he has done most of the race. Again, that gap coming down. Is it going to be enough though? 6.5 minutes remaining. Millerman hanging on to this second. Again, the gap comes down. Is it going to be enough? Not into the shipping containers. Again, brings him into that slipstream range though for sure. 0.7, 0.6 of a second. Millerman goes a little bit wide through there. Does it give him a better exit though? Not really. Keeps Rob Scott within that 0.7 of a second range. Through the right-hander, he's going to get a good tow through the S's along here. Possibly make a move down into the hairpin. We'll stick on board with this one. Gap at just half a second then. Into these tunnelled S's. Closing up again down to 0.4, 0.3. Through the epilepsy stretch. Over the hill, closing up again. Is he going to sling one up the inside here? He's got the move, he's got the speed. Millerman's not fighting it. Rob Scott then through into second. Millerman not out of this fight yet. Again, the tyres of Rob Scott are starting to show a fair bit of wear. Millerman's mediums might just last him those next 4.5 minutes. Rob Scott's could send him into a wall at any minute. Millerman keeping himself in touch, still just 0.3 back. Gets a good exit through here as well. Rob Scott peels over, doesn't want to give Millerman any tow if he doesn't have to. Gap still at 1/4 of a second between these two. We may see Millerman try and get this position back at the shipping containers here. 4 minutes remaining then. Gap still at 0.3 of a second. Cutler now 8.4 seconds up the road. He's well out of the danger of these two. Millerman Millerman closing up a little bit on the run up towards the shipping containers. Is he going to sling one back up the inside here? He's not quite close enough with those medium tyres. Backs out. Still in with a chance though. A little bit wide there for Rob Scott. Millerman comes back at him. Both drivers just having to take it a little bit easy through there, not to give either driver an opportunity. Right, just over 3 minutes remaining. We'll have a flick through the order. Come on then, jump to Cutler. There we go. So nearly 9 seconds up front. Looking good for a win here then for Cutler. Rob Scott into second. Again, only just at the minute. Millerman still looking for that position back through the epilepsy section. Back down towards this hairpin. Maybe not quite close enough for Millerman. Can he drive around the outside? Is Rob Scott going to bin it? No, nice and tidy through there. Still hangs on to it. Millerman almost pushing him out of that turn. So they are going to see one more lap when they cross the line. Millerman all over the back of Rob. Nowhere to go through the S's. He'll want a good exit out of the final turn. Get a run on him down in towards turn one. That will be the final lap, so it'll be a do or die time for these two. Absolutely nothing in it between them. I've got a couple of back markers just to try and negotiate round. Hopefully they don't get themselves into too much trouble here. Into the final lap then. See what battles we've got. Nothing for Cutler to worry about at the minute. Rob Scott, Millerman still at it, but does look like Rob Scott's starting to stretch a tiny little bit. Aldo out on his own. Dusky under a bit of pressure. Old Crawler's only 1.7 seconds back. Closing up. Oh, damage on board for Dusky. Yeah, Old Crawler closing up pretty quickly. He might make up another position here before the end of this race. 1.5 seconds the gap. About 3/4 of a lap left as well for Dusky to try and hang on to that fifth. Old Crawler gets the gap down to a second. Might sling one up the inside here. No, backs out of it. He lets Dusky hang on to that one for now. I'll go and have a look. Where's D-Dot out on his own? Somewhere 44 seconds in front to Old Crawler, 23 seconds back to Dominator in 8th. He's got another 35 seconds over Alien Swift. He's got another 7.5 over One-Eyed Lou. Another 7.7 over Hulky. Corky 12.5 seconds back. And Justin, yeah, a long way back. Minute, maybe 2 even. So, race leader Cutler comes through the hairpin. He's coming up the hill then through the S's. Final time for him. It's had a good race. It didn't start off too well, but he's managed to work his way through the crowd, get himself back up front and stretch that lead out as well from Rob Scott and the Millerman. There is Cutler then. Time has ticked over. It does flash up final lap. Alien Swift sticks it in the wall just for good measure. Cutler takes the win then. Rob Scott's going to come home, just taking second from Millerman. Someone's gone firing over the line. So Rob Scott takes second. Millerman's backwards across the line for third. Aldo takes fourth. Old Crawler has got that 5th position off of Dusky then. Moves up into 5th. Dusky in 6th. Got drivers crossing the line all over the place, but unfortunately I'm not there to look at them at the minute. Corky just coming home in 12th, so Old Crawler does take that 5th then. Dusky, oh, he's out of fuel as well, is Dusky. Damage, out of fuel, he's picked up a couple of penalties as well, ends up 6th. D-Dot is going to come home for 7th, if he doesn't run out of fuel. already had Alien Swift, One Eye Lou, Hulky, Corky and Justin cross the line. I think they all came across the line backwards as well. So D-Dot. He's going to just roll across the line here for 7th. Just got enough fuel on by the looks of it. Justin on controller. Oh, right, okay. So yeah, there you go. I was going to say, that doesn't look like your usual drive in there, Justin. So D-Dot takes that 7th. Dominator is going to come home for 8th. And everyone else always cross the line. Yeah, so yeah, Justin, I assume you've usually got yourself on a wheel and stuff. And yes, I can imagine going from wheel and pedals to a pad again is like, what? It's like learning the game again, I'm sure. I mean, it's a tricky enough challenge going from pad to wheel, really. I mean, it's a little bit easier because it's slightly more natural, if you like. But yeah, to go from wheel back to pad, don't know if I'd want to do that. But yeah, good race there for Cutler, taking the win. Comfortable at the end there by about 9.1 seconds. Rob Scott as well, coming through. Again, he didn't have the greatest of starts in this race. Ended up a few places back, possibly just in front of Cutler. Also managed to get his way through into 2nd, and Millerman as well, 3rd place. Led for a fair chunk of the race, did Millerman. But those two boys, and D-Dot was giving them pressure for a bit, but just the odd little mistake kept creeping in for D-Dot. And again, I've got to give a shout out to Old Crawler. His racing's really come on since last season. Really come on, like ridiculous. Was it podium position last week, Old Crawler? Out of nowhere. Just, yeah, I'll have some of that. Thanks. In the sprint races. Yeah, fair play. Fair play. Some good racing tonight, as you would expect. So, what have I got coming up? That's going to be it from this one. The CHEWITT Racing Mini Cooper Cup Round 2, done and dusted. I'm back on Wednesday night with the Team Oliver Racing GR3 League. 2 lobbies in that one. We've got the pros with me, Dark Smoker, and we've got the Pro-Ams, which is actually being commentated post-race by D.90, who's just left the room. So he'll be doing that post-race probably on a Friday night, so you will still get to see the Pro-Ams, but it'll be a little bit later, whereas obviously I'm live. Hulky, no problem, mate, no problem at all. And then Sunday night, the P1 boys have hauled me back in the weekends, so I missed this Sunday, which was round 1, but I am starting to pick up their league on Sunday night. So that's going to be 9 o'clock. No problem, Mr. Millerman. No problem, Dusky. No problem at all. So yeah, Thursday night, 8:30. Sorry, we're talking about Wednesday night, 8:30 for the Team Oliver Racing GR3 League. And then Sunday night for the P1 boys and their new league, which I say I've missed round 1. Because I was only asked the day before and I'd got plans and stuff, so I couldn't do it. But yes, I'll be back next week for... this week for that on Sunday night, 9 o'clock. And then same time, same place next week, Monday night, 8:30, round 3 of the CHEWITT Racing Mini Cooper Cup. Come and check it out. So again, I want to give a shout out to Woody over at Woody's Wondrous Chilies, sponsoring my channel with a lifetime supply of chili sauce, which will kill me. But yeah, if you want any of that, go hit up Woody's Wondrous Chilies on Facebook. It is astounding stuff. It is mental. That's about, you know, all those expletives and expletives and stuff you could come up with. It's all of those, and then some you haven't even been invented yet. All right, that's how mental it is. But yeah, that's going to be it from me. If you want to help my channel out, you can get yourselves over to buymeacoffee.com/darksmoker and drop donations on there. I'd much rather you got hold of me at darksmoker@googlemail.com. Hit me up with the similar sort of price. £3 is the sort of donation price, and I'll send you some stickers for free, rather for £3 rather than dropping a donation, which gets you nothing but a thanks. Whereas the similar sort of price to me gets you stickers direct. I've got t-shirts available as well, so hit me up if you want any of those. Other than that, I hope you've liked what you've watched. If you have, give it a like, comment, subscribe. Tell your mates, tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.